It's TUESDAYY Media coming at you with another video. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about Andre Ward. He and Floyd Mayweather and a bunch of other great fighters were inducted into the Hall of Fame, recently in New York. So it was a big event, big day for all these fighters. But something interesting was brought up. Jake Paul has kind of been big in terms of selling a lot of pay-per-views, getting a lot of butts in seats, specifically because he has such a big audience, maybe that aren't necessarily even boxing fans, but will buy a pay-per-view fight just because they want to see Jake Paul, fight. Whether or not you think this is good for boxing, this kid is getting eyeballs. The guy knows how to market a fight. He knows how to sell a fight. He knows how to talk some trash. He's an internet kid, so he definitely knows what he's doing from that perspective. But in an interview, Floyd Mayweather revealed that he spoke to Andre Ward. Andre Ward, one of the best fighters of all time. Well, he's not necessarily my top 10, but he's one of the best fighters I've seen. Andre Ward. Oh God, I think Andre Ward could be Canelo right now. I'm not even lying. Like if he came out of retirement and fought Canelo, I think he'd win. But that's besides the point. Let's say Andre Ward were to kind of entertain this idea, because Floyd said in an interview that Andre Ward was interested in taking a Jake Paul fight. Okay, you know how bad this would be for Jake Paul? Jake Paul has fought Nate Robinson. He's fought two other YouTubers, and he's fought Tyron Woodley and a Ben Askren. Do you know how bad this would be for Jake Paul if he were to get into the ring with Andre Ward? I'm just saying, if this fight took place, I would buy it so fast. I would get my phone out and say, Mom, we got to watch this. Jake Paul, everyone wants to see him lose. I think I personally even want to see him eventually get knocked out. Maybe not in his next fight or whatever happens, but let's say Tommy Fury's not able to get in this fight. It's a long shot. I know it's probably not even going to happen, but let's say, I want to know what you guys think about this. What if Andre Ward were to step in at the Madison Square Garden and fight Jake Paul in August with the Amanda Serrano versus Carbajal as the co-main? Continue the fight. If Tommy Fury can't get into the U.S., which they're saying is the case, that would be insane. Jake Paul would get stopped, and all this hype would be over like that, which is why it probably won't happen at all. Andre Ward, his coach knows who Andre Ward is. Anyone who's surrounding him and knows even somewhat of what boxing is knows who Andre Ward is. Andre Ward is. I almost said Andre Ward. I'm combining Demetrius Andrade with Andre Ward. But dude, that guy can probably beat Canelo right now. And you imagine putting him against Jake Paul. Oh my goodness, that would get me so hyped for this specific fight. Jake Paul, he has some wins under him. You can't take away from the fact that he's kind of changed boxing in the way that you don't really necessarily have to be the best boxer in the world to sell a lot of pay-per-views, and it's unfortunate, but it's just the world we live in now. It's not necessarily fair, but what has ever been fair? There's not a lot when it comes to business, when it comes to sports. There are guys that do this for a living, and it is kind of unfortunate that they don't get the same shine, they don't get the same love and attention that Jake Paul may get within a boxing ring specifically. But you have to remember that it's not really from his boxing ability. It's from his ability to entertain people and sell the pay-per-views, get people love drama, people love animosity. So once he puts his personality out there, he puts his persona that he's a mean guy and he wants to knock somebody out, and people want to see that. They want to see him lose, so both these demographics tune in, and makes for a lot of pay-per-view sales. So you can't really hate on him for that. I'm just saying, if Andre Ward were to get in the ring with Jake Paul, would it be trouble for Jake Paul? But yeah, hopefully we see that eventually. I don't know. I don't know if we see it soon, but if Andre Ward takes that fight, and dude, we were hearing this from Mayweather. I'm pretty sure he's a reliable source. If he wanted, a lot of people say he likes attention for himself. Why not say, maybe I want the Jake Paul fight? Does he think it's dangerous? Maybe. But I still think Jake wouldn't be able to land on Floyd. But Andre Ward. But the thing is, not a lot of people outside of the boxing world know who Andre Ward is, so would it sell the same? That's the issue. But, dude, at the same time, Tommy Fury's not that famous. Like, he's famous because He's been on some TV show where it's like a relationship, love, blah blah blah, and then because he's Tyson Fury's younger brother, that's the only attention there is. So to say that he can sell a fight, it's kind of, I think Jake Paul's the only one selling the fight here, but that with a combination of seeing Andre Ward, you'll get the real boxing fans to tune into a Jake Paul fight. So something to think about. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to cover for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? It's not that hard. So hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.